So ever since I did that vlog the other day about the depression and the being down and all that garbage, I got a lot of private messages from people on YouTube, or my viewers anyway, that were very concerned, and I certainly appreciate that. Um, you guys definitely don't have to worry about like me ever doing anything stupid or destructive. I mean, I know that I have too much to lose and um, wouldn't want to leave any sort of an ugly mess for anybody, behind. So I appreciate all of your support and concern. You definitely don't need to worry about anything like that. Um, I do want to at least just say that I try to live with the motto of if I died tomorrow, what would people say about me? And I think most of us can agree that we would probably be disappointed in some aspect of where we lived our lives. I definitely feel like people would say that regardless of how much I've accomplished, there's definitely a lot of potential that I wasted, and I don't like that feeling. So, I definitely am trying to better what I'm doing with my talents and the things that I've been given, the advantages I've been given over a lot of people, and I don't want any of that to go wasted. I'm going to share something with you that I think a lot of you guys may be surprised to find out. Um, I did not I did not graduate high school on time. I slacked, and my senior year, everything just went to garbage. I got senioritis my junior year. It's kind of the joke, and I barely graduated high school the summer school following my senior year, and I mean barely. I mean it was like a low D average. It was horrible. I was just a super lazy student. My problem was, and it's as cliche as it sounded, a lot of it was the fact that I wasn't challenged. So then I just didn't do the work. I mean, I was a great test taker. There was a time I think it was my sophomore year. I was in social studies. Yeah, it was definitely 10th grade. I was in social studies, and I used to sleep a lot, like in class. I was one of those guys. And I never used to be able to sleep in class. I could not sleep if I wasn't laying down. And it seemed like the very first time I finally fell asleep like this, there's people that they can like master the looking like you're doing something but you're sleeping. You got a book open and you're like this, and you think the teacher doesn't know you're sleeping, and they know you're sleeping, of course. But and then there's just I graduated to the flat out, head completely down. And I remember one time I was in 10th grade, and autofocus turn off. I was in 10th grade social studies, and the teacher's name was Mr. Johnson. I'll never forget. Basketball coach, really cool guy. And I was like in the second or first row. I don't remember. I was very near the front of the classroom. And I remember I was like asleep in class. And I remember kind of waking up in the middle of a conversation that the teacher was having with a student that was complaining about the fact that I was asleep. And the teacher didn't like the fact that he was always pointing out that this other kid was sleeping. And so this other kid got mad, and he's like, well, Jason's sleeping, so what the hell? And I remember very, very clearly the teacher said, he gets A's on all his tests. He passes all of his assignments. I'll let him sleep. If you were passing your stuff, I'd let you sleep too. And I remember the teacher made an example of it. It was like a midterm, and it was like 20 minutes into class after a lesson. It was, put away your books, time for midterm. And he woke me up for the midterm. I took the test. I was the first one done. I gave it to him, went back to my desk, put my head down, and started to fall back asleep. And I remember him standing up, and he said, look, 98%. The guy wakes up to take a test, he gets 98%, he goes back to sleep. He can sleep in my class. Fortunately, that story kind of put a false sense of security in my head of, wow, I don't need to study. I just fly right past this. Well, so then I started getting lazy. And towards my junior year, I started to fail classes, not because I wasn't passing tests. I was passing the tests. The problem was I wasn't turning in the homework. I wasn't doing the assignments. And that usually accounts for 2/3 of your grade. Homework, classwork, and tests only accounted for a third of it. The problem was I wasn't fulfilling the requirements to give you the rest of the grade. So I did not graduate on time. A lot of people are shocked when they hear about that because I'm a pretty smart guy. Another thing that will surprise a lot of people is that I do not have a degree in computer science. In fact, I do not have a college degree at all. And if that's one thing I would definitely go back and change about myself, is the fact that I didn't finish college, and I went to college for a few years. So if I were to die tomorrow, I would definitely be upset that I never completed college. And I know it's not too late. The problem is, it's easy to convince yourself that there's no time to go back because, I'm married and I have kids and I work full time and, I barely have much time to do the YouTube thing. I don't know. I only find that time because I don't sleep. And, I need to go back to school and I want to go back to school. And you hear these stories every now and then about an old lady or an old man who gets his degree in their 80s because they wanted to fulfill that, that achievement in their life. So I hope someday to be able to do that myself. I definitely had to claw my way to where I am with IT because of the fact that when you don't have a piece of paper that says that you can do something, you certainly have to prove it. The problem is nobody's willing to give you the chance if you don't have the piece of paper that says that you can do it. So it's kind of a catch-22. I just got really lucky with the company I was working for, where there was an opportunity for me to prove myself, and I did. Then they put me on they moved me into the IT department on a probation period, and then that worked out extremely well. Then I got put into a position of management and got to manage a lot of different aspects and things that I continue to just do really well in. I now have many years work experience. I've been with this company 7 years now, and I've got many years of work experience now that equates to a lot more than college experience. Because I think a lot of people, we had a guy that came to work for us with a computer science degree, and he came in and got chewed up and spat out. He quit. In fact, not only did he quit our company, he quit IT altogether. He went back to work for a restaurant with a college degree from Cal Poly Pomona. And if you're familiar with California, Cal Poly Pomona is kind of like California's version of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's like second in the state for technology degrees, only first to California Institute of Technology. So it's definitely not for everybody. It's what I know. It's what my brain knows. It's what it does. And if any of you guys are in school and watching this, it's so cliche to say go to college, go to school, especially when I don't have a degree myself. But that'll change one day. Definitely hope so. Anyway, and if you guys are looking for a future in technology or IT, I still tell people the best thing to do is look for internships, because a lot of schools, especially if you're going to college for computer science, have placement assistance when it comes to internships, and it counts towards credits. And my company has even done that before. We've had quite a few interns come through our office getting work-related study experience, where they get to take the work that they do for us and turn it into college credit. So this was just kind of a really weird vlog where I talked about the depression and then disappointments of things I haven't accomplished in my life, which number one thing I haven't accomplished would be higher education. And two, just keeping it real and honest, where, some people think that I've got it all put together and that I'm just, a whiny bitch about first world problems. But guess what? My problems are real. They're my problems. And I don't discount anyone else's problems simply because they're not mine. It's just we all, as humans, tend to dwell on our own problems first. And I definitely try not to do that. But I'm entitled every now and then to have a pity party for myself. And that's what I did the other day. A lot of you guys hated it. Some of you guys really related with it. Whatever you guys did, hope you took something from it, whether you hated it or not. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.